Hey guys, welcome back. Bolt Spider here, and I'm going to be showing you guys a build that I've been testing for Bird Up for 2021, well, now 2022, because Synchro Storm has been delayed to January of 2022. So let's get into the deck list, and this is a variant that I actually quite like for how the deck functions. So first off, for our Tri-Brigades, we have Triple Fractal, Triple Kit, Double Caress, and Triple Nerval. This is the standard lineup that you'll see in every single build of Tri-Brigade, and let's see how long they can last. Hopefully they last till after Synchro Storm comes out, but that's another 2 ban list out from now. Then after that, for the Lyrilusc monsters, we have Double Turquoise Warbler. This is a free special summon on top of special summoning a Lyrilusc from your hand or graveyard. Sapphire Swallow summons itself and another level 1 Wing Beast from your hand if you control a Wing Beast monster. Then we have the one Barrel Canary. This card is actually very good because if you already did everything that you can use Barrel Canary, special summon this card and target one Lyrilusc monster in your graveyard and special summon it as well. But you cannot summon from the extra deck outside of XYZ monsters. That's completely fine because most likely you're going to go up into your assembled Robin. Then we have the one Celestial Wagtail. If this card is special summoned, you add one Lyrilusc Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand. So you're adding your Bird Strikes or Bird Calls. And if it's in your graveyard, you can target a Lyrilusc XYZ monster you control, attach this card as material, so it's going to go onto your Robin as a third material. Then we have Cobalt Sparrow. Sparrow is a it's just a card. It's the one of. And the next card I'm testing out is Slower Swallow. This card is actually very unique. If 2 or more monsters with the same level are on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Slower Swallow once per turn this way. You can tribute this card, draw 2 instead of your draw 1 for your normal draw during your next draw phase. How many draws? I get so tongue-tied by that. But this card is actually a very good extender. It is a free level 1 Winged Beast that you can use, and most of the time you can summon it if you have 2 Lyrilusc monsters on the field, or if you have a Kit and Karis as well on the field. This is also, you have to tribute it yourself on your turn to get the draw 2, but I don't use it for that effect. I just use it to special summon and use it as a link material, or I can use it as a Exceed material. Then for the hand traps, I'm running Triple Ash Blossom and Double DD Crow. Ash Blossom is a staple, and the reason why I'm only running 2 DD Crow is because it's searchable, and I really don't want to see it all that much. It could be another hand trap, but this is the better hand trap. It could be a Drone Lockbird, but I feel like DD Crow is a little better coming up in this next format. Next up, we have Triple Fire Formation Tanki. This card is just 6 copies of Fractal. Lyrilusc Bird Strike, I'm not running Dark Rule no more because Lyrilusc Bird Strike is just Dark Rule and no more for this deck. If you control a Lyrilusc monster, you negate the effects of all face-up cards all face-up monsters your opponent controls until the end of this turn, and you can only activate one. So if they have a Winda and a few other things on the field, you bait out the first negate, and then you just hit it with a Bird Strike, and all of their monsters are just negated. Then you could just have free range and do your full entire combo. After that, we have the Triple Lyrilusc Bird Call. This card is actually very good. It is a Foolish Burial or a Reinforcements of the Army on top of an Extender. You add or send one Lyrilusc monster from your deck. Then you can summon one Lyrilusc monster from your hand with a different name. So most of the time, I'm summoning out Turquoise Warbler if I draw this and Bird Call, because then you can special summon the other Lyrilusc monster that you added or sent to the graveyard. And most of the time, it is Wagtail that I send to the graveyard, or the card that I add to my hand is the Cobalt. After that, we have the one-ofs being Harpy Feather Duster, Foolish Burial, Monster Reborn, and Call by the Grave. No need to explain those. And Triple Tri-Brigade Revolt. That card is legit busted, and it just recycles all your materials for you. So if you banish off the Wagtail or something like your any of your Lyrilusc monsters, you could just get it right back. And now for the extra deck, we have one Divine Arsenal, a Zeus Sky Thunder. This is one of the main cards of the extra deck because you're running XYZs to compare with it. You have Recite Starling being your reinforcement of the army for your level 1 Winged Beasts. You have your Assemble Nightingale to attack directly, to summon out the Zeus, and then you have Assemble Robin. If you guys don't know what Robin does, it gains 500 attack for each material for attached to it. If your opponent special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can detach one material from this card, then target one of those monsters, return it to the hand. And if this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card, target one other Lyrilusc monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So it is a multiple compulse on a special summon, on top of just a recycler, which is nice. Then we have the double Shreg, the Ominous Omen. This card is very good because it's a 3k spot removals and a searcher. They made him way too good. Spot removal, searcher, very great. Then we have the access code talker to pair with the Silver Sheller and the Omen when we want to go for game. We have the Appaloosa, which I rarely don't go into. I really don't. But it's just there since it's actually very helpful. Then we have the one Desperate Doom Eagle. This card is just there as a name, as a wind name. It's actually very good. Then we have the one Silver Sheller just there to go up into the Omen or the access code. Then we have the one Bear Brum. This card is insane. You discard 2 cards. You special summon a level 4 lower Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast monster in defense position. If this is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Tri-Brigade spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, then place one card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Tri-Brigade monsters. I've only summoned this a few times so far, but overall, it has been very, very well on what it's supposed to do. Then we have 2 Baron Blossom. I'm still running 2 because this card is actually still pretty good, since it is a extender. It gets you to an extender on top of you drawing a card, then placing one to the bottom of the deck. So you could just hard draw them to Tri-Brigade Revolt if you can't search it, or if you don't want to search it. Then we have the one Ancient Warrior Oath Double Dragon Lord. This is just another compulsive. I'm thinking of just cutting it and putting Harpy's Conductor in, because Ensemble Robin just does its job better. And then we have the one Salomon Great Owl Mirage, just in case if you hard open up Kit or Nerval or any of your non-special summonable Wing Beast monsters. But I do have a few replays that I could show you guys from last night. It's me versus my friend, and it's not this. It's the ones down later. So this was one of the duels that we had. Both and I pretty much had an awkward hand, where he kind of bricked but kind of didn't. I go into my Tanki, he draw Lockbirds, but that's fine. I'm going to Bird Call because Bird Call Foolish Burials. Then we're going to Normal Summon Kick, go into Owl Mirage, and I really can't do anything, so I just send the Fractal and pass. The one thing that hurts the deck the most is the Draw Lockbird, and he's going to activate Urlila. I'm going to Ash Blossom it. He's going to Shaddoll Fusion up into the Construct, and Construct does its normal things, and I believe this was the game that he won, because, or I don't think he won, because I believe he misplayed. So he's going to link off into a Cross Shape, use Construct to grab Shaddoll Fusion, or use Rush Incarnation, flipping Aerial, and then Aerial's going to special summon the Construct and Defense. Then he is going to use Cross Shape, Chain 1, Construct Chain 2, send the Shaddoll Fusion, get the Boral Sword out. And this is where pretty much it was game for me. But the other games went quite well. You also have this right here, where I opened up 2 Ash Blossom again, and he can't do anything, so he just does that. I was playing the Wing Beast Pot Agreed, but it not really that helpful. I banished 3 to go to Omen, summon out the Bear Brum, and then I'm going to summon out the Fractal, and then summon out the Swallow. Banish 2 to summon out Fledget to resolve, summoning out another Fractal. I go up into Omen bash it, the Rilla, and I almost had game if I had another monster on board. Then I just go into Appaloosa and pass. He top decks a El Shaddoll Fusion, which is actually very powerful, and then he goes into the App Cologne. He chains 1, chain 2, App Cologne, and then I negate the App Cologne. So I'm going to be down to a total of 1600, and he's going to banish my 3 Link monsters, and I'm going to negate it with Appaloosa. Then he's going to attack over with the Appaloosa. Then he goes into Gravity Controller, getting a search and discarding the Hedgehog. Hedgehog also grabs the Squamata, setting the Schism, which is quite nice. I top deck a slower Swallow, And then it's his turn again. He flips the beast. He draws 2 Foolish Burials, the Aerial, and he's going to banish them again. Then he goes up into Verte. He attacks. He should have attacked with more damage. And then he passes turn. I top deck into a Tri-Brigade Revolt, so I set 2 and pass. Because if I didn't, it would have been a loss. Then I just summon out 4 to go into Omen. He summons out the Construct. Construct goes off. Windy goes off. Nerval, Omen, Kit, other Omen. That goes off. He summons out the window, sends my Omen. I send and do all this stuff. But I don't think that... Yeah, that was not enough just to actually survive. Because he's going to put this back in and just attack for game. And then there's some games like this. Overall, the deck is actually quite well. Foolish Burial for the turquoise. Use Fractal, sending Kit. Kit gets to send Nerval. Nerval gets to add Karis. He draws on Lockbirds, but I don't really need it. I'm going to summon up the Karis. Effect Veiler, the Karis, which is totally fine. I'm going to use Kit, banishing 2, summon out the Bearbrum. And then I go into Appaloosa and pass. I wish he didn't draw on Lockbird, but it's still there. I top deck into a Bird Strike. I'm going to Feather Duster because I don't know what that face down is, and it could be really anything. And he tries to use the Hedgehog, and nothing. He top deck a Gorilla, which is very tilting. He uses that, I negate it, and then he plops down the Invocation. And this is where the whole entire combo just goes, which is not a lot of fun. Actually, no. He's going to attack into the Appaloosa, and it goes. I draw a Turquoise Warbler. I just said it. Which I could have done better with that, because I had legal targets in my graveyard. And this is where it kind of gets slow. And I don't know why he goes into the Verte Anaconda, which is fine. He goes Shaddoll Fusion going into a window, which is nice. But then I top deck a Fractal. I normal summon the Fractal, use this effect, banish 4 for Omen, and then Omen's gonna banish the window. And then I get my 4900 in. This deck is explosive when it wants to be explosive. That's the thing about the deck. And I set the Bird Strike. I am thinking of just dropping the Bird Strike, because the reason it's just not that good. I'm thinking of just siding it, because a lot of the time I feel like Dark Ruler No More would be more successful than what Strike does. And he could have completely bombarded my board, but he misplayed. Summons out the Omen, uses Omen's effect to banish the face down, which is a super poly. He Pankratops my back row, which is completely fine. I attack into the Clown, and he goes out on his own turn. I'm just going to show you one more replay, and I believe it was this one, the 3 turn. He sets 3, my turn. I Feather Dusted his back row, hitting a Incarnation and a Schism. He Droll and Lockbird. He always has Droll and Lockbird in his hand. This is where Slower Swallow is nice. So I use it, so I get 2 draws on the next turn, which is completely fine. I go Baron Blossom and summon out the DD Crow. I go up into an Omen. Omen's going to banish his face down. Then I attack for 3,000 and attack for 200. Then main phase 2, I go into the Zeus for 2 material. Only 1. And no matter what he did, I mean, I still would have just wiped out the board. Because, oh, normal summon Ariel, I have response on normal summon, which is completely fine. And the last one, we have this. So, this is a prime example of him having these glued to his hand. So, Bird Call goes, I add the card to the hand, special summon the Warbler. Warbler is going to trigger. He's going to use Droll and Lockbird. I chain call Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird still applies. So now I have to be very, very wise of what I send. So I am going to end. I could have tried to go for 4 in graveyard, but that's completely fine. But I have an Omen and a Emblem with a Revolt, and this is pretty much game, since I have 2 bounces and I have a Revolt to special summon anything. But I hope you guys did enjoy this deck profile. I don't want to keep much longer, but comment down below what you think you would change for this deck. I tried playing the Smorg stuff, like the Link, Avian, and Wind Barrier Statue, but I think the deck is past that prime. Unless if people go back to it, I don't see it being played. But anyways, I have been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.